I remember being in my house and being like, carolers! Like, it was like an exciting thing to happen when it did, but it was starting to already dwindle by the 80s.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we don't do caroling anymore. There are 4, count them, 4 reasons why.
Wild people sing songs of the cheer. Christmas is here. Christmas is on and they send on with that and their joyful tone to every home.
That is the most psycho Christmas carol of all time.
Hey, Hamilton, have a holly jolly Christmas.
Boys, we're talking about Noel today.
We are. We're talking about carols.
Oh,
What is the best carol? That's what I wonder.
What's your favorite carol?
He's sitting across from me.
Oh, that guy right there.
Dressed up for the event.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
We all agreed to get festive.
We all agreed. Oh, Clayton, you look lovely.
Oh, thank you so much, Noel. You look amazing.
Thank you,
Christmas
Jacob.
sweater, Jacob. You look mid.
I didn't know we were going that far. So
Jacob, where the heck is your ugly Christmas sweater? What the heck, dude?
I blew it. I promise you I won't let you down. Next time I am going big, baby.
That's a Christmas carol.
That's a great Christmas carol. So we are talking about Christmas carols. We're going to teach the audience a little bit about like where they all began, because I think, and we're pushing our beliefs on you, the Christmas carols are an upward spiral.
Absolutely.
I think like if you heard somebody singing outside some lovely tunes, you'd be like, oh, that's nice.
All I want for Christmas is you.
Well, usually when you hear Christmas tunes, it does get you in the mood, get you in the spirit. It reminds you of an earlier time in your life when things were great.
Youth.
Before they got awful.
Right.
Right? Like they are right now.
Yeah, except while they're watching the show, they're getting progressively better.
Right. Our job is to bring it back out.
They started the show, but now they're like, that's why we're talking about
we think the Christmas carols can bring that. I mean, we've already said that music is like the number one upward spiral.
Fastest way.
It's the fastest way to do it.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Should I go ahead and go into a little bit about what the
Jacob,
history
what's
is?
the history of Christmas carols?
I'm so glad you asked. Anyway, I have way too much text here. It's been around for over 1,000 years. This goes way back to like actually thousands, because all the way back to the pagans and the stuff that we talked about on the Halloween episodes. Carols essentially means to sing and dance in a circle. That's where that all came from.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Is that what that means?
Yes, carol. That is so.
It used to have an E on the end.
Yes, it had an E on the end. Very good. It had an E on the end. It was carol. And it was...
Which means you got to roll
exactly,
around
go in a
the
circle like that.
neighborhood?
Exactly.
It used to be the car roll.
Yeah, the car roll. And you had to roll in the hay. Roll in the hay. Roll in the hay. So that
I did not know that dancing was a part of this.
Yeah, dancing was... And it went... That's funny that you say that, because it went away. Because like people were like, I don't really want to do the moves anymore.
Like, Mom, if you're gonna make me come out here and sing, you can't make me dance.
So
too.
when they started doing this as like a tradition, the dancing kind of faded out, and it also people lost interest in it too, because a lot of the original carols were in the Latin and nobody knew what they meant, and so they weren't taking like hold of the common people, the common clay.
The common clay of the New West. You know. Morons.
You know.
Morons. You know, when they finally get it to translate it in the Reformation, and it's now everybody can start to speak it now. They're like, oh, that's what they're singing about. And it's,
Jesus,
exactly.
Oh, if you kept saying Yahweh, I didn't know.
I didn't understand what you said. You're just a bunch of gobbledygook. But the most
I love how we're immediately Southern.
Yeah, of course, because it's sweet. Bless your heart.
Sweet.
So there's the interesting thing is most of the carols that we have, they were all like published, written, kind of brought into completion in the 19th century. So it hasn't even been around that long. You have some from the 1880s and whatnot, but some of the most popular ones, like in 1868, Philadelphia rector. What's a rector? Is that like a
damn near killed her?
Damn near. I think it has to do with the church,
rector,
right? It's
yeah.
like Philip Brooks was grief-stricken over the death of President Abraham Lincoln, for whom he held a great admiration. So he took a trip to the Holy Land, and this is the inspiration behind the song, O Little Town of Bethlehem. And a lot of Christmas carols came out of people being really sad heartbroken, grief-stricken, and then they would hear something or think of something about like the baby Jesus or Christmas or coming together, and they would be immediately inspired to write a carol. And that was, a lot of them came out of sad places. Isn't that interesting?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Well,
was pretty
that is
fascinating.
upward spiral. They were in a sad place.
And then they were like, let's
and
write
then
a
they
jam.
found music,
Yeah.
and then the music lifted them back up.
Absolutely. So I thought this was interesting. So as it was coming up, caroling, before it became very popular, it used to be known as wassailing.
Like wasabi sailing?
Exactly.
Like, so
It's a Japanese
people-
carol.
So door-to-door singing caught on about 1,000 years ago and is often referred to as wassailing. It's actually in some of our Christmas carol songs, the word wassailing. We won't go until we get some. Yeah. Anyway, so the origins of this is a practice where carolers are invited into a home for a warm drink. This was actually the trick-or-treating of the Christmas season because it was actually an excuse to drink excessively. It was essentially the Christmas version of trick-or-treating. Peasants would travel through neighborhoods to the doorstep of the Lord who owned their lands and began drunkenly singing. This was done
My kind of people.
This was done under the guise of wishing the Lord a happy holiday, but it was essentially low-level extortion, with the carolers promising not to cease until the Lord gave out food and drink. Hence, here we come, a wassailing lyric. We won't go until we get some, so bring out some here. So it was like extorting for
My
drinks.
God.
Yes.
This whole time,
we
haven't been caroling.
We have not
because
been-
we thought it was for suckers.
We thought you were just supposed to go sing to somebody.
But it's really for drinkers.
It's literally so you go to the person's house in your neighborhood who you know has that sweet bar, and you go, we won't go until we get some, we won't go until we get some. And the only way you're leaving is if
Bring it right here.
so he's got to bring you some drinks, or you're not leaving.
Or you're not leaving.
Yeah. So that is the history of carols. And so they're popular now. You know, they've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Last cool fact was Away in a Manger back in the 1880s. Somebody submitted it as this like really historic German song that connected to Martin Luther, but the person who submitted that to the 1880s magazine was lying, and they fabricated that it was from so they were basically trying to elevate their own song.
Brilliant.
So
Genius.
they didn't attach their name to the song at all. They just were like, oh no, this is like a Martin Luther hymn, and everybody was like, oh, all right. So it like
nice.
rose through
Let's
the
do
ranks
it.
quickly,
Yeah.
but nobody knows who wrote Away in a Manger.
Wow.
Wow.
That's some fun history of
That
caroling.
is some excellent history about caroling.
You know, one of my favorite carol stories was in World War I. You had the British line in France and the German line, and it was Christmas Eve, and the Germans started singing Silent Night, Stille Nacht,
Really?
and
In German.
in German, and then the English and the French started singing their translation of Silent Night
In response.
in response, and then suddenly there was a freaking truce called by the soldiers themselves, not by the generals, and they kind of came
They
out,
all put down their weapons.
put down
They
their
came out.
weapons.
You
They-
are kidding.
And they had a Christmas, they celebrated Christmas together.
That's right. On Christmas Day, and they basically came together. They
is-
had a
I have
football match, meaning
never
a
heard
soccer
that.
match, and everybody, they were like exchanging like pictures and chocolates and different things like that.
Is this
And then
World War II?
This is World War One.
World War One.
And so then the general was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" They all freaked out. They're like, "Hey, everybody, back, bang, bang!" Like, okay, and they all went back down to the.
Shook each other's hands, said, I guess we're going to fight again.
I guess we got to fight again. I have never heard that story.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's one of the most beautiful
somebody
stories.
should put that into a film.
I think
It
is.
was. It was called Joyeux Noël.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. So it was in a film.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's a
that's
beautiful
amazing.
movie. It's great.
I clearly
It's a
need to
good
get
good
out
title.
more. Yeah,
Good title.
yeah, clearly. All right, Carol, it's your day.
All right, what am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to tell us something about.
What makes a carol, Carol?
Oh, what makes a carol?
Yeah.
Well, usually they're a combination of kind of red and brown
Right.
until they get a little older, then they get gray very early.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
They're very fertile,
Okay. It's good to
often
know.
quite tall,
Yes,
this
it's
is
very
true.
true.
smiley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smiley, outgoing, used mostly for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
Happy to help. They anger quickly. I don't know
Okay.
why, but
Okay.
it goes away
Yeah.
fast.
Australian.
Yeah, very Australian.
They're stinklers.
They're stinklers to the nth degree.
Yes.
Yeah. I think they have love in their heart mostly. Except when they're hating.
That's one of their love languages. Is to
Yeah.
be just a little.
Their love language is to hate.
Is to be a little bit.
A little bit.
A little curmudgeony, a little grumpy, a little grumpy. Right? It's kind of.
Hate you. I can't stop hating you.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
what makes
that's what makes a
singing carol for Christmas?
Singing Christmas carol. Okay, this is interesting.
Okay.
It's short because, and here's why there's little I can say about it. It's because nobody really knows the difference between a Christmas song and a Christmas carol.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
So there's kind of like there's some general ideas of what makes a carol.
Yeah.
But there's no hard, fast rules. Caroling was something you did in a group with your friends, dancing to celebrate,
Right.
to do joy. Mm-hmm. So really, any song can be a carol. It doesn't even have to be a Christmas song.
Yeah.
No, interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
But
So you're saying Christmas Time in Hollis by Run DMC
Could absolutely be a carol.
it is a carol.
Like each and every year we bust Christmas carols.
Is a carol.
Yeah, absolutely. But usually a carol is religious.
Okay.
And usually a Christmas song is secular.
Okay.
Usually.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Usually, but there's exceptions to every rule. But that's generally, if it's Silent Night.
It's got the
whatever.
religious connotation.
But here we come a wassailing.
Yeah.
That's not a religious song, but that's a carol, right?
Yeah,
so
right,
it's not a hard fast rule.
Yeah.
Oftentimes the rhyme scheme is AABB for whatever reason.
Right.
Okay.
There you
So
go.
that's another thing that
Interesting.
again, not always, but that's a pretty good rule to go with it.
For most carols is AABB. Interesting.
That's what they say.
And then it's up, up, down, down, left, right,
B, A.
Start if it's just you.
If
But
it's with
it's
your
Select
friends.
start if you're playing with your
somebody
friend.
else. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
and then
30
unlimited
lives.
lives in Contra.
Contra.
That's good.
Which is plenty to win the game.
Yeah, more than enough.
You make lives as you go.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
Yeah.
Anyway.
yeah.
That's it.
Yes, and then usually, interesting enough, you touched on this before. Usually, a carol has minor notes and very like melodic. It's very melodic and yet somehow uplifting. Even though the music is often kind of sad.
Yeah.
The songs are still uplifting.
That's what I found in a lot of this research is a lot of these songs that are hits came from really sad places.
Yeah.
It's a very upward spiral thing, actually, to think about how, like, something feeling so sad, you could suddenly get joy out of it. Mm-hmm. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we don't do caroling anymore. And this is my part of the topic, is why don't we go out with our cute little sweaters on and our Dickens hats and
the
our
hats are really the
scarves
thing.
and the top hats and all that stuff and the little hand muffs. Why don't
Hand
we do
muffs.
that anymore?
Hand muffs.
Come on,
Yeah,
people.
they're called hand muffs now.
Hand muffs, guys. You know the hand muffs.
And ear gloves.
These ear gloves.
I love going to the store and be like, where's the hand muff section? Excuse me?
Excuse me, sir.
Get out, sir. Get out. Well, here's the deal. According to AI, there are count them, 4 reasons why we don't go around caroling anymore. Now, when I say caroling, it's not like just singing.
Right.
It's like going
dancing in a
door
circle.
to door.
In a circle.
It's dancing in a circle.
Demanding booze.
Demanding booze.
Yeah.
Well, that's the good kind of caroling,
Yeah,
but
that
I
is good
still do
caroling.
that every Christmas.
Yes, I do too.
I go to your place down the
Yeah,
street.
you
I'm
do.
like, "Ah!"
Yeah, you do.
No,
Give me the beer.
We're sailing. Oh, we're sailing. We're sailing away.
4 reasons why we don't go caroling anymore. Number 1, we don't really know our neighbors that well anymore. Community dynamics. Nowadays,
true.
like back in the day in like the 1800s, 1700s, the communities were smaller. They were more tight-knit, and you can just go around house to house. It's almost like a progressive dinner. Like you just welcome everybody into your houses. The way it should be. But
That's
we
back
don't
when
do that
everyone
anymore.
wore hand muffs.
The funny thing is, it's a real thing, a hand muff.
It is?
It is. It is actually the big furry thing that ladies used to keep their hands in.
Only him with his Norman Rockwell brain would know that. But I was going to say, I remember being in my house and being like, carolers. Like it was like an exciting thing to happen when it did, but it was starting to already dwindle by the 80s.
The number 2 thing, which is probably the number 1 thing, honestly, is safety concerns.
Safety control.
We always say safety second.
It's like our neighborhoods are... It's either they're getting more dangerous or they're not getting more dangerous. We just think that they are, and there's much more concern over horrible stuff going on and like kidnappings and murders and all this other stuff. Might be true, might not be true. It's just a whole lot of fear going on. So people don't want to go to somebody's house, ring their doorbell and go, one cup of pills seems wrong. Oh my God!
Yeah, right.
Run away.
Right.
Basically.
I just wanted whiskey.
I just wanted whiskey, for God's sake.
Number three is cultural sensitivity. We do not only have one religion now in our neighborhoods. True. There's every single walk of life, which is honestly the way it should be. One little tiny community with just one religion is it's fine, totally fine. But at the end of the day, this world is a one big, beautiful, happy, gorgeous world of humans and all of their different beliefs. And so if you go around singing Christmas carols, like you said before, are pretty religious.
Yeah,
and
it's
it all
true.
talks about the baby Jesus.
I would be loving to hear vocals from any part of the world, any religion,
Sing
any
about
community,
any old dang
sing
thing.
about any old dang thing. So
I'll even give you booze.
I think that if we were open to it and we were just like, let everybody have their turn and do what they want to do, then I think there'd be a lot more singing. And it would be like, maybe we could create a whole new tradition where you'd walk around during this time of year and everybody has like their traditional songs that they sing in the neighborhood. And maybe we could bring back like, let's just be open to everybody sharing.
I hope that we get there.
I hope so too.
I think one day there maybe will kind of be, this isn't going to happen, but I think that one day.
You heard it here first on Upward Spiral.
Wouldn't it be nice if everybody took a look at death and what happens next and said, it's cloudy at best.
Right.
To know what's next.
I don't know what's
And that
I don't
everybody
know
who's
what's
told
coming.
you that certainly it is this thing probably isn't that exactly right.
Right.
Because I don't know how anyone could certainly know what's next when there isn't any information.
Sure.
But people do need something to like give them comfort.
Right.
To get them to keep rocking, to keep doing their thing, to keep making it happen, to keep being great.
Right.
And religion helps people with that. So I think if we can all kind of agree that different people require different things to get that drive, to get that comfort, and then accept and enjoy the way that others do it while not losing your own.
Yeah.
Then maybe we can all joyously live together and sing carols and drink booze and get drunk and have lots of crazy sex and babies.
Hey, happy holidays, baby.
Yeah,
This
baby.
truly is the Carol episode.
That's the way the carols do it, baby.
That's how we do it.
All
So
right,
you have one
number,
more, right?
Number 4. By the way, that was beautiful, Nolly.
was
I
well
love
said.
that
Oh,
idea.
thanks, Pat.
Because you're
Well
absolutely
said.
right.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
We should all celebrate the way we celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody can tell me that what I think is wrong, and I can't tell anyone else that what they think is wrong because nobody knows.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, number 4. Then this is the saddest one. Technological access. Like, okay,
I watch all my caroling on YouTube.
just honestly, people's joy comes from how they want to ingest their own music, their own sense of Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, any of that stuff. And it's usually now, especially in the post-pandemic world, technological. It's all there. And like they could listen to carols on Spotify or whatever it is, and it's usually enough because they know, number 1, they don't know, or number 2, don't trust their neighbors. Number 3, they don't want to upset anybody by having their own thing. So they just put in their little earbuds and they just kind of keep
they're good.
within. Which the upward spiral part of this is, can we drop all that? Can we actually ask another person from another religion and another culture, what are your favorite songs for your holiday that you love? And we can like literally all of us, like they did in World War I, literally share each other's joy in that little moment and then have togetherness. So there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why we don't do it and why all 4 of those suck.
Preach.
And we need to just kind of take back the community aspect of life, and not just this country, but all the countries.
Okay, grab the earmuffs, grab the hand-muffs, grab the hats, grab the
all
cloaks,
the muffs and put them on all
Grab the
body
boots.
parts and go.
and get the heck out there. Grab the little cape thing that flutters up them, just a
right.
short cape that goes off the, all of it.
All of it. Get out there and
let's
sing.
sing.
Let's sing.
Let's sing for booze.
Let's do it. So that is the Christmas Carol episode, and I hope that everybody felt a little bit of spiral uplifting.
Yeah.
I'm spiraled.
Ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land, what are your favorite carols? Make sure it's Noel. And anything in the comments that you want to put down of Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Joyous Kwanzaa, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
We want to hear all of it.
Yeah,
All of it.
Exactly.
We love all of it.
All of it.
So you guys ready to strap in?
Yeah.
Let's catapult this.
Let's catapult it.
Alrighty.
A
It's
carol catapult.
A carol catapult. It's time for your second Christmas catapult. Get out, everybody!
Happy.
Merry Kwanzaa.
Spiral, upward spiral.